Green Screen Forecast, your host Alvin Kamau. As yes, we did spring forward, but I'm here to talk about the potential for a few brief storms getting into the early portion of the work week. Again, brief, but I'll talk to you about it and ways to stay informed before I end off with temperature trends from the Climate Prediction Center. So let's get started with this graphic from the Storm Prediction Center for Tuesday, March 10th, and you can see this potential for some stronger storms here in St. Louis. We're under this level 2 out of 5 for strong to severe storms, but just to our north, this is where the bullseye is, over parts of northeastern Missouri and west central Illinois. And the timing to watch for this is any time late Tuesday before early Wednesday. That's when we get some more garden variety showers and thunderstorms. But this area in that enhanced risk might just be the bullseye, specifically along and north by 70. This is where I can't rule out some all hazards being possible from Quincy to, again, parts of west central Illinois. That's kind of that bullseye. So if you're south of this region, specifically south of I-70, not saying you're not going to get any storms, but I think the strongest storms, at least to start off, as that warm front pushes up to the north, will be focused over parts of northeastern Missouri and west central Illinois. This is very brief, and then we will start to dry out. And this is where we had to talk about, okay, what do I do to stay informed in case the forecast does change? You want to have yourself a NOAA weather radio. This is a really good thing. It was resourceful, especially a few days ago when we did have a few stronger storms in some spots. Definitely replace the batteries on them because alerts come immediately. Also, your phone is always a great resource to get those warnings, those wireless alerts, at least if you charge them. But of course, a NOAA weather radio, not just only for severe weather, but just getting the latest information from our National Weather Service. And so if you have one and you haven't replaced the batteries on them, especially since we just did spring forward, make sure you do that so you can get the latest information as well. You can do so by going to Midland, USA to keep your family safe during the 2026 spring severe weather season. Let's move forward from this and talk now more about those temperature trends. And looking forward, you can see something a little bit different getting into those mid to almost latter portions of March. This 6 to 10 day temperature outlook shows us more of leaning or slightly below normal temperatures for the eastern portion of the U.S. It might turn a little bit colder getting into mid-March, and our normal highs for this time of the year are getting into the lower 50s, so temperatures like that or slightly colder, specifically the further northeast you head, while areas out to the west, we've seen this pattern before, right? Have those above normal temperatures, more below normal temperatures up to the north in Alaska, of course. But we'll keep an eye on a small push of some colder air that might influence parts of our region or areas just to the northeast. However, this warmer ridge of high pressure out to the west will eventually try and move back into our region because, again, we are getting into spring. And you notice this 8 to 14 day temperature outlook gets us into those latter portions of March where we could get that return of more above average temperatures. And even in that 3 to 4 week temperature outlook from our Climate Prediction Center, you see that even getting into those early portions of April, while yes, we could briefly turn cooler over parts of the northeast, we will see those warmer temperatures kind of retrieve. And possibly then when we get to the month of April, we're probably just going to stay in these above normal temperatures. But it's never crazy to talk about even cold air in that month as well. But the bottom of the line is, yes, we will turn a little bit colder over parts of the northeast for a brief period of time. Those above normal temperatures, at least long-range signals, suggest that it will move closer back into our region. But of course, if anything does change, I will let you know. And that's going to do it for this quick green screen forecast. Thank you for watching it all the way to the end. You indeed are the best. Make sure you follow me over on X for the latest weather updates. Again, very brief storm potential, and then it's more dry weather. So I don't want you to think that this is what we saw last week, because we're going to get a lot more dry time than we did compared to the first week of March. But like I told you in my previous video, I was keeping an eye on the second week of March, and yes, we do have a threat specifically north of I-70 or north of St. Louis getting into that late Tuesday, maybe early Wednesday time frame. So something I'll be keeping an eye on over on my socials before we talk more about some better weather or better days ahead of us. But definitely follow me on there for the latest on any severe weather or any colder or cooler temperatures, if you will, getting into the future. The link to that will be down in the description. And of course, I'm over on Instagram at Threads as well, so you can follow me on there if you don't have those social media platforms to get the latest outdoor weather reports that are much shorter than this. But again, thank you for watching this video all the way to the end. Do yourself a favor, if you have a NOAA Weather Radio, make sure you tune it so you can get the latest information from our great friends at the National Weather Service.